Hotep, Black Power. As always, giving honor to the ancestors, giving honor to the Creator, my sister, Chief of Staff, Brother Harris Abdul, Street Law Soldiers, my father, my in-laws, family, and comrades who are in the ancestral realm as we speak, and to you all, specifically and especially those who are fighting in the liberation and salvation for the black nation. Before I get started, I just want to, acknowledge some people, give some acknowledgments out. As always, my family, my mother, Queen and Singer Sankofa, Brother Ali from the Peacemakers, along with Shorty Tim, who are giving something this Saturday at Emory Park. And the Mighty Peacemakers, they back on board, stronger than ever. And go support them and go have a good time, because I'm going to be there. Also, Brother Mark, Georgia Avenue Barbershop, my in-laws, brothers and sisters out there in all boroughs of Washington, D.C. and the surrounding counties and areas. Brother Rockman, Brother Bo, Brother Osiris, all my comrades that are still fighting for the liberation and salvation of the black nation, as well as those who are, out here, in survival mode, dealing with the system of racism, white supremacy. I want to also give a shout out to Hotep and Black Power, to my daughter, Kiwana, my grandchildren, Isaac and Kayana, and all my relatives and those who are not even related. Special shout out to the Street Law Soldiers, Brother Robert Burgess, and the like, all my comrades, Brother Marvin Hardy, who's behind enemy lines right now, incarcerated, in Hagerstown, Maryland, and for all the brothers and sisters who are behind enemy lines as we speak. We wanna never forget these people. We wanna support these brothers and sisters, so we can come together as one unit in the black community. So as I go into the first subject, which will be Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. Now, for those who just think that this is just a fight, another boxing match for Floyd Mayweather, you're totally wrong. This is about the system of racism, white supremacy. This is about a cracker putting a blemish on Floyd Mayweather's record, shitting on him, talking to him greasy, and beating his ass. Now, if Floyd doesn't throw the fight, and uses his head, and beat this fucking cracker, beyond recognition, then he can go down in history as a true warrior in the ring. Outside the ring, Floyd Mayweather's just a piece, he's just some shit for real. I'm just being straight up. He's some shit. He's not a humanitarian. He's selfish, and this is going to teach him a lesson and show him about the illusion that he has been under about the system of all this, all lives matter and all this bullshit, So, and this is if he doesn't be stupid enough, to throw this fight, for the sake of just getting paid, and not realizing the severity of this situation. Once again, like I said, this is just more than a fight. So, you know, hopefully he has the right people telling him, you know, to destroy this fucking cracker. He's an Irishman. These Irish, you know, Roman Catholic, these motherfuckers are under the judiciary command and religious ordainings of the fucking Pope up in the Vatican. You know, so, you know, this is more important than even Floyd can imagine. So I hope the people that are in his corner, you know, are telling him to train extra hard and put a brutal whooping on this motherfucking cracker. Because it's more than a boxing match. Also, I want to give a shout out to Dino, Raquel, Nana, and the Glut. You know, those are my comrades, you know, where I work at part-time. And, you know, nothing but love for them. You know, they're strong individuals, you know, and hope to see y'all in a minute. So let's get down, you know, to the meat and potatoes, you know, of this video. Let's talk about Dylan Ruth, the little cracker who shot and murdered those people in South Carolina and Charleston in their church, which is no coincidence that that church was the same church Denmark Vesey attended. And I believe he was convicted in there. Something happened. I'm not quite sure, you know, on the you know, on some of the incidents surrounding that church and brother, the great Denmark Vesey. But Dylan Ruth, who murdered those 9 people in the church, just got his ass tore out the frame by a young black guard in the jail that he was in. And I mean, he got the fuck beat out of him to the point where these crackers pressed charges on the young guard. Now, he still made bond because he got donations from the community, you know, through a GoFundMe page, and he was released on bond. Now, the crackers are in an uproar behind this shit. But let's look at this. They never was in an uproar when that motherfucking piece of shit white devil motherfucking Ice 8 Mountain Dog George Zimmerman, you know, when he made bail, you know, when he got all the money online on the GoFundMe page, which was over $2 million, which made him a millionaire, you know, for his legal defense. You know, now this motherfucker sits in a swimming pool, you know, on an inflatable motherfucking raft in his pool, smoking a $500 cigar after he murdered Trayvon Martin. And for those who don't know, they have a YouTube page where it's called Trayvoning, where they have crackers in blackface laying on the motherfucking grass with Skittles in their hand with a hoodie on and an Arizona iced tea portraying to be Trayvon Martin. And these motherfucking devils even have, they have done it with their animals. They have cats laying on the motherfucking grass with hoodies on with Skittles. And dogs. You know, 4-legged dogs. You know, along with the fucking 2-legged dogs. So, y'all motherfuckers make me sick with that goddamn, you know, with that goddamn, it's no racism and all this bullshit. These crackers do any and everything to us. And we are determined not to fight this motherfucker. We are convinced, you know, that we are so overwhelmed in our hearts with fear. But we go on each other. We go on each other every motherfucking day. Meaning, an example, Michael Vick, who went against Kapernick, which he should have been the last motherfucker to go on Kapernick. The way white supremacy, you know, fucked him around and locked him up for some goddamn dogs. But yet, he tells these motherfucking crackers that Colin Kaepernick should cut his head, you know, and look up appeasing for the motherfucking crackers. This is a motherfucker. They took the best years of his motherfucking career and locked him the fuck up, you know, for some motherfucking dogs. And now he's out. And he's, you know, now, you know, they have broken Michael Vick. Michael Vick is a broken man. He is a broken motherfucking slave. He has given in to the system of racism, white supremacy, where he publicly will go on people that look like him. You know, him and this motherfucking Ray Lewis, Gay Lewis. And for those who don't know the situation with Ray Lewis, I'm just going to give you a brief synopsis of Ray Lewis. Now, when Ray Lewis was in college, University of Miami, because Ray Lewis is a bisexual, in the dormitory where he shared a room with his lover, they got into a disagreement. Ray Lewis stabbed his lover to death. And what they did, they put that under the rug because these crackers knew that Ray Lewis they knew that he was going to be a meal ticket for them. They knew he was destined for stardom in the NFL. So what they did, they hushed that away from the public. You would have to really do some investigative researching to have found that out several years ago. Now, he gets drafted by the Baltimore Ravens. The same situation happens in a nightclub in Atlanta. One of his lovers, they had a disagreement. Ray Lewis murdered that brother. And what they did, they locked him up and they gave him 2 years to prove himself, or else he was going back to prison. And that's when Ray Lewis became a superstar. Now, his athletic abilities have nothing to do with this because as an athlete, like most of us, we are born with these extraordinary talents. So, and that's all Ray Lewis did. But now, after 20 years in the NFL, he's financially well off, but he continues to go on the media samboing for this motherfucking cracker. Instead of keeping his mouth shut, find him a position in a coaching or a leadership role and live happily ever after. He continues to shine and buck dance and shuffle his feet for this goddamn devil. And every time he does that, he puts his foot in his mouth and ass. You know, the crackers throw him under the bus. They allow him to speak, and they tell him to speak, knowing he's pretty much illiterate. Social skills are fucked all up. He has no direct memory or direct information on black history. he's a piece of shit when it comes to black history. You know, all he knows is football and Coons and shucking and jiving and bojangling. And that's another thing. You know, we always want to dilute what we're supposed to say. You know, and I've had people come to me, so-called scholars and lecturers and the like, and they've told me to, you know, tone it down a bit. You know, we got to be quiet for master hears. That's the information I get when you tell me to tone the fire in me, cut the fire in me down some. When all of us should be flaming with fire and standing up, fighting for the liberation and salvation of our people. I'm not changing. I'm not toning shit down. And if you waiting for that shit, do not hold your fucking breath. Cause Shaka Sankofa is Shaka Sankofa. Don't use this word. Don't say this and don't say that. You know, profanity is for somebody who don't have the other words to say. That's bullshit. You know, a lot of times profanity is just, you know, really if you look up profanity, that means profane, profound. You know, really profanity is just an emotion. And I'm very, very highly emotional when it comes to the system of racism, white supremacy. You know, so I try to have a balance with it. You know, but I will not allow anyone to gauge me and to, you know, count how many times I say nigga and fuck and all that. You know, this is not Toastmasters. You know, why you wasting time counting me, engaging me? Do something in the fucking community. Find something. Count how many motherfucking crackers are riding around, you know, looking to terrorize our babies. See if you can gauge that shit. You know, it's going to be a lot of people rallying in New York at the NFL headquarters, National Fuckboy Faggot League headquarters, to support Kapernick. Everybody act like he's some type of cancer, you know, and don't want to pick him up, and because he's an outspoken and he stands up. He stands up for the injustice of black people in this country. And when you do shit like that, you know, you have more blacks going against you, telling you to sit down and go along to get along than whites. And that's why the white community, they'll sit back for a while and let the Buckdancers and the Bojanglers, you know, sit out there and yell and, you know, denounce their own motherfucking people. You know, cause I'm a good nigga. I'm a good nigga. Colin Kaepernick, be a good nigga. Cut your hair. You know, you ain't got to be like that, cause Massa gonna treat you good. You know, Massa is a good, you know, the NFL, Massa is a good, he good white folk. He good white folk. You know, and Colin Kaepernick is standing up for all these brothers, Philando Castile, and all these other brothers and sisters that have been murdered from police terrorism. You know, black poverty in the black community. You know, he even went to the parole and probation officers in New York and took a lot of his suits, you know, and gave them to parolees, you know, to wear when they go on job interviews. See, that's a motherfucking soldier. That is a soldier. That's somebody who wants you know, to see liberation in the black community. You know, and you know, and when you have these motherfucking buck dancing ass niggas, and like I always tell you, you can even watch Birth of a Nation. They had, you know, Nat Turner had to kill niggas first to get to the motherfucking cracker. So I have to spend time doing a video discussing the niggas that need to be knocked down for us to get to the motherfucking wizard. Going down a yellow brick road, ours is black liberation. And then you got all types of motherfuckers jumping out on our way to liberation. You know, little monkeys, oh, you know, that's a motherfucking army, that's a military. You know, the Wicked Witch. You know, those are your Oprah Winfrey's. You know, your Wendy Williams. You know, you have all of your Tyler Perry's. You know, all these different motherfuckers, you know, that are hindering black liberation. You know, that are strictly in the way of black liberation. Nevertheless, you know, I've said that last year about how the NFL, you know, needs to, you know, be boycotted for so many things that they do to black athletes. You know, and once again, when you have people, black people, that are the gatekeepers and the gargoyles that are protecting the system of racism, white supremacy, and in exchange for wealth and fame and fortune, they assure white supremacy that they'll keep the other blacks at a subordinate level. And so that's why you have so many black people with money, millions and billions, that are not willing to share, that are not willing to help uplift black people in this country. And this is what pisses me off. You motherfucking niggas get money. You grow up in the hood, you come up in the hood, and then all you do is make a documentary about how rough it was for you. But then when you get wealth, you go to another goddamn country. You know, now I have nothing against, you know, brothers and sisters over in the continent or whatever, or what have you. You know, but before you can go outside your home to look out for others, take care of your home first. And we have a tendency of looking out for everybody except our own. You know, motherfuckers building villages. They got villages in Africa and Ghana and, you know, Nigeria and all this. And when a lot of them come over here, you know, they have a disdain for us. I don't give a fuck what you say. A lot of them come over here just to impregnate sisters and marry sisters, you know, for citizenship, you know, permanent citizenship status, and then they go back and forth, you know, financially taking care of their brethren, you know, back home, you know, and using the people here. You know, and then they call us Qatars and all that shit. When you hear one of them stinking motherfuckers use that word, that means cotton picker. That means a nigga, a slave cotton picker. You know, you smack all the shit out one of them. You know what I'm saying? You know, because just because you're dark skinned don't make you a brother, don't make you black. And I don't say that to say that it's white people that are brothers. No. Fuck no. No cracker can be a brother or sister. None of them. None of them. You know, but we have to be clear about some shit. You know, we get this money, you know, Jay-Z, Oprah, you know, you motherfuckers forget about, you know, them high-rise tenements that you lived in, that you grew up in, you know, and then you leave the people behind, you know. But how do you think you got to the status and the fortune that you've acquired? You've acquired that fortune from the poor supporting you, your own people supporting you, going to your concerts, buying your CDs, watching you on TV, watching you on pay-per-view do concerts and all types of shit. And then you shit on these people. You look for an excuse not to help them. It's no reason why our people should be in the condition that they are in right now, based on the fact of the wealth that thousands of blacks have. It should be no poverty, no homelessness, no unemployment, no critical mental health situations based on the fact that people have lost their minds trying to make ends meet. You know, based on religion. You know, because religion it teaches us, and we still are carrying that slave mentality. Because religion, we've been trained to live in poverty, and that when we pass and when we die, that we're gonna live in, we're gonna have paradise. You know, when we pass away, we're still under the hypnosis of that slave master's motherfucking teaching, and we have to move on from that shit. That's why I, you know, destroy religion, deal with spirituality. That doesn't mean you don't believe in a higher power, you don't believe in a God. It has nothing to do with that. You know, it's just the deities that these deities are non-existent, never existed ever. This is just a story. These are stories that were written by your oppressor for the purpose of oppressing you, to keep you under social control. And you know, if you believe in a loving God, the God you believe in is so loving and, you know, merciful and you know, omnipotent. But you believe that same God will send you to be a slave in a land for 4 or 5 centuries. You know, to be a servant, to be whipped, to be raped, to be on plantations, and then after that to live in poverty and end up dealing with self-hatred and killing one another. What God is that? What type of God is that? What type of God endorses that type of motherfucking insanity? But we believe this shit. You know, and it's time for us to, you know, it has to be, you know, it has to be some changes made. We can't continue to be in the mindset that we're in and expect liberation and expect our babies and our children and the generations that are coming behind us to have any type of freedom. It's not going to happen. Liberation is the only way liberation will come for us is through force and through war. We do everything that we possibly can do and say to avoid physical combat with this motherfucking enemy. You know, I'm tired of all the thousands and thousands and thousands of YouTube videos. All these different people claim to be scholars and lecturers and all this, but nobody is talking about going to war, you know, which is our only resort at this point. Nobody is talking about that, except only a select few, you know, of underground, grassroots, militant organizations and movements. But the masses of you that are on this social media, you try to analyze and use all this critical analysis of white supremacy when you know what's going on. Because deep down in your heart, you know that this is, you know, a physical confrontation is our only solution. And once this physical confrontation takes place, you will see the results. We will have instant results because you will have white casualties in mass amounts. And that's something that they don't want. You know, I'm just sick of everybody just talking. You know, this person talking, this person sound good, this person is doing a lecture, this person is talking about the Illuminati, this person is talking about how shit is so fucked up, and this person is talking about this and that and this and that, and nobody is saying, let's link up and start going to the state capitals of your area that you live in, you know, and alert these politicians that war is coming at an escalating scale, that we are coming, do or die, and there will be, you know, white caskets will be rolling in the white community like black caskets will be rolling in the black community, and you will see this shit will stop yesterday. This shit will stop yesterday, and if you think, you know, all you have to do, you know, is begin to link up, because you will never know, because we've tried everything else. Think about it: marching, protesting, being in the streets, you know, 100 people in the middle of the streets getting shot at with tear gas, you know, all that old shit. 100, 200 people get arrested, come back out, you know, no progress has been made, none. But when you see thousands of black people that are armed to the T in the streets, and both sides are falling evenly, they will say, let's put an end to this, and you will have whites